Hello, my friends. Greetings and good morning. So, in the business owner's arsenal of crazy stuff we can pull out, let's get right to it, shall we? So, in the business owner's crazy thing that we get to pull out, we get to understand the hour of power, right? What is it that we get to do for ourselves? What is it that we get to understand as far as the best times for us to do any work? So, let's start off with you're born on a specific day. You should know what date you're born. For me, it was a Sunday, so today works, right? But every planet, according to the ancient books, has specific times of day. And those times of day are representative for different types of things. So if you're born on Monday, that's the day of the moon, the planetary hours and the powers of the moon, right? For Tuesday, it's Mars. For Wednesday, it's Mercury. For Thursday, it's Jupiter. For Friday, it's Venus. For Saturday, it's Saturn. Sunday, it's the Sun. Okay? So as I go through these things, these are the times that are going to be best suited for people that are born on those days. Okay? So if you're born on Mars, so let's say Tuesday. If you were born on a Tuesday, 7 a.m., 2 p.m., and 9 p.m. would be your hours best of power, right? If you're born on Monday, 4 a.m., 11 a.m., and 6 p.m. Okay? If you're born on a Sunday, 1 a.m., 8 a.m., 3 p.m., and 10 p.m. are going to be those aspects and avenues of power that work best for you. If you're born on a Wednesday, it's the day of Mercury. 12 a.m., 3 a.m., 10 a.m., and 5 p.m. are going to be the sacred hours for you. Jupiter is 6 a.m., 1 p.m., and 8 p.m. Venus, so this would be a Friday, right? 2 a.m., 9 a.m., 4 p.m., and 11 p.m. would be what I would recommend. And then we're going to move right up into Saturn. It's going to be 5 a.m., 12 p.m., 7 p.m. Right? Now, the thing about that is that they shift. Now, depending on what astrological sign you follow, astrological signs being the Aries, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, Gemini, the whole bit, right? What you're able to do is you're able to break it down even further. And we can get into the nuance and the specifics of what those classical applications represent in the 4 seasons of the year. So for Mercury and for Mars and for Jupiter and for Venus and for all the different planets, they have different attributes depending on the time of year. Okay? So in spring, for Mars, so that's 7 a.m., 2 p.m., and 9 p.m., right? The yang aspect of 7 is also corresponds to Libra. And that represents marriage, relationship, context, diplomacy, right? In spring, that 2 becomes Taurus. It represents stability and security. In spring, it represents Sagittarius for the 9 o'clock, right? It gives meaning, gives truth, growth from truth, right? But in the summer, the 7 represents Capricorn, represents career, represents ambition, represents obstacles and stability, responsibility. 2 represents Leo, validation, approval from others, In summer, the 9 o'clock represents Pisces, transcendence, unity, and bliss. In autumn, so at the autumn equinox, from the autumn equinox to the winter solstice, that would be 7 a.m., represents Pisces, spirituality, imagination, drugs, and idealism. 2 p.m. represents Scorpio, transformation, sexuality, power, right? 9 p.m. represents Gemini, learning and communication. From the winter solstice to the spring equinox, 7 represents Cancer. It represents home, family, caretaking, feeding. 2 represents Aquarius, perspective, insight, and change. 9 represents Virgo, productivity, competence, and efficacy. So as you go through, and if you're born on a day of Mars, not only are you going to have different influences at 7 a.m., 2 p.m., and 9 p.m., but at the 4 times of year, you're going to have different applications of what you're accomplishing, what you can do in those times. So that as you go through and as you go deep with this stuff, you'll be able to go really, really far into who you are, what you can do, what you can engender based on those principal actions of people. So if it's between the winter solstice and the spring equinox and you're doing a sales presentation for somebody and you know that there's going to be people that were born on a Tuesday, you can speak into things regarding home and insight and productivity in that winter season. Whereas in spring, you can talk about the relationships, the diplomacy, you can talk about stability, and you can talk about growth from truth, and it'll have a different impact to that same individual. So you can stage what you talk about for 4 times a year to the people that are born on a Tuesday or behave like they were born on a Tuesday. So if they lead with their head, right? Mars is the mind. It represents action. It represents the ability to act on information. So if you've got people that have the ability to act on information, these are the things that you can do in that period of year that'll allow you to do just that. So as we move into moon, its numbers are 4 a.m., 11 a.m., 6 p.m. Okay? In spring, 4 represents Cancer. It's homes, it's families, it's caretaking. 11 represents Aquarius, perspective, change. 6, Virgo, productivity and the ability to execute decisions. Okay? In summer, 4 represents Libra. That's marriage, relationships, diplomacy, beauty, and socializing. 11 represents Taurus and stability. 6 represents Sagittarius. It's meaning, truth, and expansion. From the autumn equinox to the winter solstice, 4 represents Capricorn. It's career, ambition, authority, obstacles, and responsibilities. Leo is 11. Represents validation, approval from others, right? And at 6, it's Pisces. It's for transcendence. It's for unity. And in the winter solstice to the spring equinox, 4 is Aries. It's adventure. It's new projects, fights, physical labors. 11 represents Scorpio, transformation, sexuality, power. 6, Gemini, learning, communication of concepts. Okay? So as you go back through and you understand that the moon represents reflection. It's the dreams that you have. So if you're talking in spring to somebody who was born on the day of the moon, you can talk about your home and your caretaking and your family as it relates to the changes and the ability to provide and execute decisions. Right? So you can have that conversation in the springtime with somebody and it'll resonate deeply with people that are reflective. So it doesn't have to necessarily be that they were born on that day. They just have to be in the mind space or the life state to be affected by what the moon represents. So as we get into that, and as we get into a little bit deeper about behavioral understandings, this isn't so much as rigid as it is for ritual work in knowing how to work with these energies. It's knowing how to observe these energies in people and knowing how to observe the differences of people in their time of life. So as we move into the sun, that's the light, that's the overwhelming authority to do or to be, right? The spring, it represents Aries, adventure, new projects, physical labors, fights. That's at 1 a.m. At 8 a.m., it's Scorpio. It means it's sex, it's death, it's power, it's transformation, it's corruption. Right? There's finance involved. At 3, there's Gemini. There's learning and there's communication. At 10, there's Capricorn, which is structure, perfection, and order. Right? In the summer, 1 represents Cancer, homes, family, and caretaking. 8 represents Aquarius, groups, technology, change, progress. 3 represents Virgo, efficiency, competency, productivity, the ability to execute ideas. Right? 10 represents Aries, survival, being, and autonomy. Right? So if I was going to, in the summer, if I was going to have those conversations with somebody around the home technology to increase their efficiency for their survival, then that's exactly what I'll have to do. It's like in the autumn equinox to winter solstice, it's 1 is going to be Libra. It's going to be marriage, relationships, contracts, diplomacy. At 8, it's going to be Taurus. It's going to be money, possessions, goods, relaxation, and sexual delights. Sagittarius, meaning, truth, expansion, and growth from truth and meaning at 3 p.m. At 10, it's going to be Cancer. It's going to be belonging, nurturance, caring, right? In winter, 1 becomes Capricorn, career, ambition, authority, obstacles, responsibility. 8 becomes Leo, play, games, creativity, party, romance, right? 3 becomes Pisces. It's transcendence, it's unity, it's bliss. 10 becomes Libra, intimacy, relatedness, and beauty, right? So those behavioral states of the zodiac are how they balance out the personality traits of those people that are born on the day of the sun or have those types of attributes. So we can structure our conversation around the different types of people that behave in those kinds of ways, so that way we can speak directly, understanding what season they're at in life by knowing what seasons are ruled by what energies. Okay, so every energy has a different season. Every season has a different division of behavior patterns that has been observed throughout time. So those are the hidden truths behind time. So on Wednesday, you're born on a Wednesday. You're child of Mercury, right? 12 a.m., 3 a.m., 10 a.m., 5 p.m. In spring, 12 is Pisces. Spirituality, imagination, idealism, drugs, charity. 3 becomes Gemini. Books, learning, information, communication, writing. 10 becomes Capricorn. It's career, it's ambition, it's authority, it's obstacles, it's responsibility. 5, it's going to be Leo. It's validation, approval from others, self-esteem by approval. Right? Summer is 12 is Gemini. It's books, it's learning, it's communication, it's writing, it's reporting. 3 becomes Virgo. Work, service, labor, crafts, utilities, directly things relating to health. 10 becomes Aries. Venture, new projects, physical labors, fights. 5 becomes Scorpio, transformation, power, and sexuality. In autumn, from the equinox to the solstice, 12 becomes Virgo, work, services, labor, crafts, health problems, problem solving. Sagittarius is at 3. It represents philosophy, religion, law, travel, ethos, and teaching. 10 becomes Cancer, homes, families, and caretaking. 5 becomes Aquarius, perspective and insight. Right? Winter. So from the winter to the spring, in that tide, right? 12 becomes Sagittarius, philosophy, religion, law, travel, teaching, and ethos. 3 becomes Pisces, spirituality, imagination, idealism, sickness, how to overcome sickness. 2. 10 becomes Libra, marriage, diplomacy, beauty, art, contacts, social interactions. 5 becomes Taurus, stability, security, and pleasure. So again, if you're in the state of communication and you want to create programs over the year and you want to have 3 months of focus on this program here, this program here, this program there, how do you structure it? Well, you can go through and you can speak into the 7 days of the week for that month, for that period. You can focus on all the things relating to Pisces, all the things relating to Gemini, Capricorn, Leo. Or you can do all the things, like right now we're in the autumn to the winter solstice. You can do, on Wednesdays, you got 4 Wednesdays, do a day that you're talking about Virgo stuff. Do a day you're talking about Sagittarius stuff. Do a day you're talking about Cancer stuff. Do a day you're talking about Aquarius stuff. Right? Like that stuff changes up so that way you can communicate to people where they're at. So that as you bring illumination, as you bring insight into their life, you're able to do that. And these are the means by which you can. And so Jupiter, right? That represents the law. It represents wealth. It represents power and authority. It's Zeus, for God's sake, king of the gods, right? It represents 6 a.m., 1 p.m., and 8 p.m. Okay? In spring, 6 represents work, service, labor, crafts, problem solving. It's Virgo. Okay? 1 represents survival, being, and autonomy. It's Aries. 8 is Scorpio. Sex, death, power, and transformation. In summer, it changes over. 6 becomes Sagittarius. Philosophy, religion, ethics, law, travel, teaching. 1 becomes Cancer. Belonging, nurturance, and caring. 8 becomes Taurus. Stability and pleasure. Autumn at 6 becomes Pisces, spirituality, imagination, idealism, charity, drugs, overcoming drugs. 1 becomes Libra, intimacy and beauty. 8 becomes Taurus, stability and pleasure. Winter, 6 becomes Gemini, books, learning, writing, reporting. 1 becomes Capricorn, structure, perfection, and order. 8 becomes Leo, validation, approval, esteem given from others. Right? And so we move into Venus. Venus is the life. It is the reasons why we live. Right? It's all things that are illuminated. You can use the colors of gold. You can use brass. You can use pure things. Right? 2, 9, 4, and 11 are its numbers. Spring. 2 represents Taurus, money, possessions, goods, sensual delights. 9 represents Sagittarius, which is philosophy, religion, travel, ethos, law, education. 4 becomes Cancer. It means belonging to something. Community. 11 becomes Aquarius, perspective, insight, and a change for something. What is it changing into? In summer, 2 becomes Leo, play, fun, games, entertainment, creativity, romance, party. 9 becomes Pisces, spirituality, imagination, idealism, sicknesses of the heart. So what do you long for? What do you yearn for? 4 becomes Libra, intimacy, beauty, mutual interests. 11 becomes Taurus, stability, security, and pleasure. Autumn. 2 becomes Scorpio, which is sex, death, power, and transformation, corruption, and financial ties. 9 becomes Gemini, which is books, learning, transformation, information, communication, writing, and reporting. 4 becomes Capricorn, structure, perfection of order. 11 becomes Leo. It is the validation, pure support from the outside of the self. It is the social opinion. Okay? From the winter to the spring, 2 becomes Aquarius. It means groups, courses, technology, change, and progress. 9 becomes Virgo, work, service, labor, crafts, utilities, health. 4 becomes Aries, is survival, is being. You're going to endure the winter, right? You're going to have a life that'll endure. 11, Scorpio, transformation, power, and sexuality. Saturn, 5 a.m., 12 p.m., and 7 p.m. In spring, 5 is going to be Leo. It's play, fun, games, entertainment, and romance. 12 is going to be Pisces, unity, transcendence. 7 becomes Libra, intimacy and beauty. Summer. 5 represents Scorpio, sex, death, power, transformation, and financial ties. 12 represents Gemini, which is learning and communication. 7 becomes Capricorn, structure and change. Autumn comes from 5 as Aquarius, groups, coaches, courses, technology, changes, progress. 12 becomes Virgo and efficiency. 7 becomes Aries and autonomy, survival, and being, right? Winter, 5 is Taurus, it's money, it's possessions, it's sexual delights, it's relaxation. 12 becomes Sagittarius, truth and explanations. 7 becomes Cancer and belonging, caring, right? So you can speak into where those people are at all the different times of the week. So that as the year progresses, different times of the day, when you want to go live, when you want to have a calendar of events that you're planning out, okay? The different hours of power that you have, for those children that are ruled by Mars, it affects at different times of day. There's a rotation pattern to it. There's steps and periods where you can space out what time of day does what. So if you're a child of Mars and you're doing something on a Sunday and you're speaking about Mars, do it at 7, 12, or 9. If you're going to be talking about Mars stuff on a Monday, do it at 4, 11, and 6. If you're going to be talking about Mars stuff on a Tuesday, do it at 1, 8, 3, and 10. If you're going to be talking about Mars stuff on a Mercury day, on Wednesday, do it at 5, 12, or 7. If you're going to be talking about Jupiter stuff, do it at 2, 9, 4, and 11. If you're going to be talking about Venus stuff on a Friday, do it at 6, 1, and 8. And if you're going to do it on Saturn, do it 12, 3, 10, and 5. Okay? So if you're going to be talking about moon stuff, reflective stuff, you're going to start it on a Sunday. Do it at 4, 11, and 6. Right? On Monday, do it at 1, 8, 3, and 10. On Tuesday, do it at 5, 12, or 7. On Mercury, Wednesday, do it at 2, 9, 4, and 11. On the day of Venus, or Friday, do it at 12, 3, 10, and 5. On Thursdays, do it at 6, 1, and 8. And on Saturday, do it at 7, 2, and 9. For stuff for the sun, right? 1, 8, 3, and 10 on the day of the sun. For moon, so on a Monday, right? Talk about sun stuff at 5, 12, or 7. On Tuesday, 2, 9, 4, and 11. On Wednesday, 6, 1, and 8. On Thursday, 12, 3, 10, and 5. On Friday, 7, 2, and 9. On Saturday, 4, 11, and 6. And it'll connect deeper with the type of people that are responsive to those hours, to that behavior pattern, to those cycles. So in the morning, you've got a yang energy. It's the energy coming in. And at night, you can go live and talk about the yin energy, the energy that generates the gestational period, the growth that occurs. So if you're going to talk about Mercury stuff, communications, right? On Sunday, you do that at 12, 3, 10, and 5. Monday, you would do it at 7, 2, and 9. On Tuesday, you do it at 4, 11, and 6. On Wednesday, you do it at 1, 8, 3, and 10. On Thursday, you do it at 5, 12, and 7. On Friday, you do it at 2, 9, 4, and 11. And on Saturday, you do it at 6, 1, and 8. So if you're going to talk about Jupiter stuff, on Sunday, you do it at 6. You do it at 1, and you do it at 8. On Monday, you would do it at 12, 3, 10, and 5. Tuesday, you would do it at 7, 2, and 9. On Wednesday, you would do it at 4, 11, and 6. On Thursday, you would do it at 1, 8, 3, and 10. On Friday, you would do it at 5, 12, and 7. On Saturday, you would do it at 2, 9, 4, and 11. Now on Friday, when you're doing stuff for Venus, on Sunday, you would do it at 2, 9, 4, and 11. On Monday, you would do it at 6, 1, and 8. On Tuesday, you would do it at 12, 3, 10, and 5. Mercury, you would do it at 7, 2, and 9. Thursday, you would do it 4, 11, and 6. Friday, you would do it 1, 8, 3, and 10. And on Saturday, you do it 5, 12, and 7. That's the stuff for Venus. So if you're going to do stuff for Saturn, transformations, right? You would do it at 5, you would do it at 12, and you would do it at 7. So we are in the hour of Saturn on Sunday. So that's why it's at noon. Right? See what I did there? Timed this chat to transform your schedule so that you know where you can talk into, what you can talk into, at what time of day you can talk into it. All right? On Monday, it would be 2, 9, 4, and 11. On the day of Mars, so Tuesday, it's going to be 6, 1, and 8. On Wednesday, it'd be 12, 3, 10, and 5. On Thursday, it's 7, 2, and 9. On Friday, it's 4, 11, and 6. And on Saturn's day, on Saturday, it would be 1, 8, 3, and 10. Now, as you go through and as you are working with the times and what was ruled by the times, and those information structures, right? There's a lot to it because it's nuance. It's people that are interested in transformation. Those are the conversations you have around Saturn. People that are interested in life. Those are what you have around the discussions of life. People that are interested in rulership and power and authority. Those are the conversations you have on Jupiter's hours. If you're going to be talking about communication or communicating ideas, then you do those on Mercury's hours. If you're going to be talking about mental stuff, do those on Mars's hours, right? But also having yourself as whatever child of whatever planet you came from, like whatever energy that is, you can incorporate that into what you're doing. And this is a really easy way to do that and to make use of the planetary times so that way you can capitalize on the classical arrangements, right? Like, the planetary hours start at dawn on Sunday, right? What's dawn on Sunday? That begins the first hour. What is dawn on every day? What is sunset on every day? And it's the 12 hours that follow, right? And so what is dawn on the spring equinox sets the tide for the year. Whatever day the spring equinox falls on, that Sunday or that day at dawn sets the calendar for that year. So that as you go through, you can understand that there are cycles, there are seasons. So when you have the summer solstice, and then you have the autumn equinox, and then you have the winter solstice, at dawn on those days, for those 3 months, you have your days. You have those seasons of power. You have the shifts that power is responsible for as that type of person goes through those experiences. It's not just about being born under the zodiac signs. It's about being able to communicate what the zodiac signs represent in the hours that are most efficient, in the ways that they're most efficient, and the people that are most receptive to hearing it are in those times, are born of that time. So that you can communicate, you can interact with, and you can apply these higher level techniques of understanding why time matters. Why do you divide it out so much? Is because you get behavioral interactions, you get the shifts, you get a content schedule, you get creation schedules. When do you plant? When do you harvest? When do you So that's what I want to leave you with here today, guys. I hope this helps in structuring your content calendars and some of the considerations, like who do you want to talk to? Like, every astrological sign is ruled by the planets. It's got one planetary association that rules behind it. Not to mention the elemental behaviors that it demonstrates in those people that are alive. So you've got the people that are like fire, the people that are like water, the people that are like air, and the people that are like earth, right? And then you've got the people that behave like the different planets in the different times. And then you've got people that behave stronger towards their astrological associations. So it's the root motivations. So if you understand what planet that energy that person embodies, and how to structure your talks, your information, your delivery periods when you're doing these kinds of things, you'll have a better understanding of how deep you can get when you start applying these techniques to whatever it is that you're talking about. So I hope this helps, and I will chat with you all later, my friends. Until next time.